Hey guys, Youthful Yields here. Look at this SEC filing from RoundHill. Super exciting. So, as many of you know, we have stuff like YieldMax, which for most of their ETFs, they deal with a single ticker, right? But these are also a single ticker, where RoundHill is known for QDTE and XDT, which are performing insanely well right now. I think QDTE has close to 60% yield rate, distribution rate, and it's pretty stable in terms of the NAV. We can pop that up real quick. So if we look in the last, you know, it's pretty much trading sideways. Now it hasn't been out for that long. That's obvious, but yeah. And we know that RDTE is coming out pretty soon. So that's going to be the Russell 2000 version of this. So, yeah. But what's important is these are weekly pairs, right? Weekly covered call strategies. And they're on a single ticker. So I'm extremely excited. We have stuff like Microsoft, we have MicroStrategies, Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, Google, Coinbase, Amazon, AMD, and Apple, right? All of these tickers, all of these companies are also on YieldMax. Every single one of them has a YieldMax ETF for it. But the difference is it's not a weekly ETF, right? YieldMax is a monthly ETF. So I'm extremely excited for these. I hope they have the same or close stability as something like QDTE or XDTE. And if they do, I think a lot of people are going to be moving over to RoundHill. Just solely because, and maybe even for a smaller yield, something like, Amazon or Meta or Google, right? If they manage to get about a 60% distribution rate, that would be insane. Because, well, that's higher than the UMAX, right? Now, one thing I am curious about is if you go to XDTE or QDTE, you'll see if you scroll down here, the expense ratio on both of them is 0.95%, right? So, and if you go to YieldMax ETFs, right? Let's check that out real quick. Let's go to the full ETF list. So you'll see that their average is about 1%, or it's about 99%, but or 0.99%. But it's close to 1%. So the QT and XCT have a lower expense ratio, but I theorize that this is actually going to grow because we're dealing with single tickers, and the volatility of those single tickers, excuse me, is a lot higher than the S&P or the Nasdaq or even the Russell 2000 for that matter. So I think the expense ratio is probably going to be 1%. That's just a guess. I'd hope that it stays at 0.95%, because that would be a complete and utter competitor to YieldMax, right? Because again, these single tickers like Misty, their highest performer right now is at 0.99% expense ratio. So very interesting, and I'm hoping for that. Now, this was filed yesterday, I believe. Yeah, subject to completion. So, who knows? And I think right here, I'm not sure where it was. Yeah, 75 days after filing. So who knows? This is probably going to take a while. Let's be honest with ourselves. But what's important is we just had the Granite shares leveraged ETFs of Nvidia, Apple. I think there's a whole host of them, right? And those I'm super excited for those as well, because I love leveraged funds. I think it's like a good way to kind of avoid using something like margin, but you get to use leverage, right? So you're not actually risking more of your money technically. So anyways, go ahead and check out that video if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, I don't know what else to say except that I'm excited. You can see that they don't have the management fees under here, but if they can hit above 40-50% on each of these ETFs, I think people are going to start switching over, because who doesn't want a weekly paying ETF? I mean, that's just insane. That's one of the main reasons people got into XDTE and QDTEs, just because it pays weekly. And, you know, for someone retiring, weekly income is huge. Anyways, that's all I had for you guys today. And yeah, I wish you guys a financial future.